Before our next panel, we have a poetry reading, and I'd like to call on my colleague, Dr. Ellen Howley from the School of English, to introduce our poet.
So we've heard so much about arts, and hopefully you've had a chance to see some of the exhibitions. I'm delighted that we have another artistic interlude in the form of a poetry reading from Grace Wilentz. So Grace was born in New York City and grew up in Greenwich Village, a graduate of Harvard University with postgraduate degrees from Oxford University and University College Dublin. She moved to Ireland in 2005 to study the Irish language and became an Irish citizen in 2015. Her first collection, The Limit of Light, was published by the Gallery Press in October 2020 and went on to be named a Book of the Year in the Irish Independent and the Irish Times. She has received support from the Arts Council, including a literature bursary and a Next Generation Award. Her most recent collection, Harmony Unfinished, was published by the Gallery Press in October 2024 and is nominated for the Munster Literature Centre's Farmgate Award. She is the inaugural writer-in-residence at Notre Dame in Dublin. Please join me in welcoming Grace to the stage.
Thank you so much for having me here today. As a poet, much of the work that we do is very solitary. And so being a part of a community like this, feeling the energy today, the wisdom that's been shared is incredibly strengthening and illuminating. And it's an honor to have been invited to share a few poems with you today. So the project I'm going to read from, it's a new project. I actually haven't shared it in public yet. And it is part of a book-length poem about reintroduction of the lynx in Europe. It was inspired when I watched a documentary about these majestic wild cats being rescued from captivity in the fur trade and being rehabilitated before returning to the natural environment. Carrie Doherty earlier today spoke about what we can learn from the natural world. And for me, this project is just about that. It's about learning to see, to really see the natural world and how that action can help us to live in our complex world with our freedom and integrity intact. This project also recently led me to the Velebit Mountains in Croatia, where reintroduction is one of the positive stories that can be told at the moment that we can look to. And there I met incredibly dedicated doctors of veterinary medicine and rewilding experts who generously shared their work with me and connected me with the Velebit mountain range. And it's really that generosity of experts that's led me to be here with you today. Scientists, thinkers who have engaged with me about this project and helped me to see the work in new ways. So I'm incredibly grateful. There is evidence, though small, that lynx were in Ireland a little under 9,000 years ago. And this has led me to also look at questions on the issue of extinction, and especially this notion of the endling, this word we give to the last of a species or subspecies. So the section of poetry I'm going to read for you today follows a lynx on her journey back into the wild once she loses the documentary cameras. This project veers off into folklore, history, science, and as well as an examination of the lens in nature documentaries. So I'll just read these sections straight through. This is Snowcats and Me. To feel, if not yet know, yourself to be among the last. There are proposed names for this: Ender, Terminarch, Relict. This being at a place of extremity, the furthest outermost point the ancestors will go. It is its own kind of infinity, last of a line almost completely finished off. arriving finally at 0, like a season never to be repeated. A single color sliding from visibility. The long exhale, cold volcano, permanent eclipse. Overcome by steady forces, life like a wish before it is expressed. Those first steps from the pine carrier are slow and cautious. Afraid now of what is natural. Her coordination is off. But there is fresh earth underfoot and the taste of melting snow. Whirlwind and mountain depth. Not possible to forget fir tree, sky, rain, cave, sinkhole, mountain slope, underground stream. The narrator marvels at being able to watch her, in secret, and she puts her paw to the lens. The picture goes black. Her instinct is to remain hidden. She goes the way with the thickest cover. Alone in the cool air of the forest, it is possible to become attuned to something else. First came the exquisiteness of stretching into her skin, deepening into the span of the body's full length. Then the pleasure of laying down in the sun, absorbing its heat, drinking from a cool stream, pissing, letting prey lead her to a new vista. As automatic as breath, as natural as the heat, smell, sound, given off of the body sovereign. The forest's abyss and darkness call to her sense for surrender. What's certain is the strain of muscle from leaps that yielded only feathers, the bites under fur, and sores on the pads of her feet. Fear weakens the system. The heart in her chest beats won't. For all the hungering, there's no lightness. A cage of 5 by 9 by 4, no preparation for quick-kindled aggression, balancing exertion, also rest. She has to keep moving to find less vigilant prey. Beneath apparent stillness, the forest sounds dynamism. Soft vibration of wings, claws scratching a burrow, wind rustling leaves, a twig cracking underfoot. In the distance, neither mirror nor mirage, another lynx. It stops. Its coat glistens. Lynx regards lynx. It lifts its nose, breathes in her blood not fortified, with fresh kill but damp leftovers from the supper table, cat food from a tin. Lowering its nose, it offers her one blank look, and as if waking from a dream, moves on. The power of starvation is gnawing. The power of starvation is otherworldly. Intuitively, quietly, she slows. Paced then still, she lowers and waits. Prey flies higher than she can jump, and scales bark with a speed she's lost. But hunger is propulsion. Hunger is a great teacher. Strength draws itself up through the hind legs. One slow hair opens the future a few days further. Little is left for the beetles, eagles, the soft earth itself. Strength begins returning. The echo of her pulse shifts. Thank you so much. Begin.